Chat, here we go. We've got ApparentlyJack and Ashllxyy playing in a couple ranked replays today, and we're recording them live, so the YouTube viewers get to see the lovely chat talk about the game as they go on, which is something that we actually haven't done a lot lately. We're doing a lot of YouTube video recording offline for the most part, saving streams just for the live matches. But today, an exception, as ApparentlyJack, playing in the blue, takes an air dribble past Ashllxyy as he threatens the bump. I'm not even sure if he really connected with the bump. Ashllxyy is currently holding the Feer content on his back by just having auto uploads and being a top level player, and then also queuing, because a lot of other top ones players will not even queue. But truly, you guys see Ashllxyy, you give him a pat on the back for the much appreciation in all the replays we could ever want to watch. But Ashllxyy was grinding. This was Halloween. This was Halloween night. We actually have a lot of replays between him and Forky, and you actually might have seen a Johnny video on the last few of the games that Ashllxyy and Forky played against each other. I think this must be EU servers, yeah. Can't imagine these guys were both queue US East, so I'm sure Ashllxyy was queuing in both servers but only ever getting games in US East until he got ApparentlyJack a couple times. Forky was live streaming his games, so I wonder if ApparentlyJack saw that Ashllxyy was queuing and then queued up, because I have to imagine these guys are pretty aware of how hard it is to find a queue at this time, the time that these guys played. And Forky is certainly a big streamer that wouldn't surprise me if ApparentlyJack was viewing. But right now, ApparentlyJack up 3-0 at the start of this game. Ashllxyy will get his first, so it'll come off a good kickoff. Oh my goodness, that was the fastest clicking I've ever seen. I am a really bad masher. Something I've realized in gaming, I'm not the best masher in the world, that's for sure. And that was some insane mashing from Ashllxyy right there on the camera change. Just these are the important factors that make you the best in the game, chat. You need to be able to, after scoring a goal, super spam your camera. Otherwise, who are you really? Jack, a nice carry away from Ashllxyy. Ashllxyy was trying to hover aggressively upfield, and Jack took his time, made the touch away from him to the other corner. Now he's got himself possession. The backwards wave dash from Ashllxyy was a couple inches short of picking up that other corner boost like he wanted to. Not really going to matter too much because he was completely set to go on boost. He was only going back to pick that one up, I guess, to maybe starve Jack, because he probably started that whole sequence to go pick it up with like about 80 boost, and it cost him a little bit to just move to the corner, but otherwise he really didn't need to do that. Jack up 4-1, playing in the Octane. I know he's messed around with the Fennec and the Octane as of late. Ashllxyy, just a slow dribble on the pop, trying to set up an air dribble from midfield, but not enough forward momentum to really turn it into anything. Just took too much boost and too much time to bring it to the net. So Jack not having to make a lot of saves in the early part of this game. He has been able to get away with playing most offense, and then whenever Ashllxyy does get control of the ball, he's not putting anything dangerous on net. He's got himself a nice possession here. ApparentlyJack gonna have to quickly retreat out of his own corner to pick up midfield boost, and Ashllxyy still didn't get anything out of it. The dribble immediately cut off by Jack at midfield, and then an air dribble bump, or really just a chip shot bump, and a 5-1 lead for Jack. Everything is going Jack's way right now. And I think Ashllxyy maybe needs to slow down on offense a bit when it comes time for him to have possession. Really think, what does he want to do in order to try and get it past Jack's defense? I mean, credit to Jack, the way he has been covering everything, and that's a great pre-flip. Ashllxyy thought he saw an opportunity for a long shot, but Jack's recovery was too good. Ashllxyy with a minute left to go. Needs 4 goals to bring it back. This flick not the worst of all the possessions he's played, but then he just chips it up and hands it away. I mean, I guess it ended up being just as bad. Before he was giving away possession immediately, you flick high off the backboard in the position that Ashllxyy was in, he should be able to continue his offensive possession still. And that was something that was at least better than what we could say about his previous offensive takes, because he was making him look kind of like this, a crazy double off the sidewall. Never really had a chance to go in and had no chance of holding on to possession either. But with 30 seconds left to go, I think Ashllxyy, you know, kind of clocking this one in. Doesn't expect to get 5 more goals. Just looking for a nice clip to end the game. We do know Ashllxyy is great at getting clips. A little fake musty. He'll go underneath. 6-2. Maybe some kickoff magic brings Ashllxyy back, but it doesn't seem like that's very likely. Does anyone know if Ashllxyy is good at threes? You're surprised you haven't seen him on a team. Yeah, I'm not sure who Ashllxyy plays with for threes. You know, the NA bubble scene, as far as teammates, I feel like I have a pretty good idea of, but I do not know the EU bubble scene and who is teaming together. So I would think that Ashllxyy is likely trying, but I don't know for sure. ApparentlyJack and Ashllxyy. Game number 2. Ashllxyy in the red, Jack in the blue. I think that matches the teams that were on last game. Make it nice and easy. Oh my goodness, Jack had a easy wide open net to go up 1-0 against Ashllxyy immediately after taking him down 6-2 the previous game. Didn't take it, but is luckily handed another free goal. Not a good way to start this game 2, essentially, between these two players. But Ashllxyy, how did he get a wide open net there? I have to go back and see. It seemed like Jack, did Jack fake the kickoff or something? Why did he get an easy chip? I don't know, my mind melded away. But doesn't matter. Ashllxyy is going to tie up the game. Jack winning this kickoff, getting a bounce dribble at midfield. His hook shot gets Ashllxyy to the top of the net, but not enough to keep Ashllxyy from recovering well and making a play at midfield. Ooh, the fake. Ashllxyy thought maybe he could either low 50 or get Jack to get off the ball. Felt like that was an aggressive challenge from Ashllxyy's perspective, so he was going to just sit and wait or assume that Jack would pull off of it. Instead, Jack just gets to smack on an easy shot on net, and you know, these dribbles right now for Ashllxyy have just not been looking good. He's getting poor first touches and then can't hold on to the ball. Jack can just take him away, score on easy nets, and it really doesn't have that much to do with the way Jack is pressuring it. I mean, credit to him to, you know, take advantage of every little mistake that Ashllxyy's making, but I think Ashllxyy normally setting up those dribble plays much better than he is right now. A nice double to pop this over Jack, take his corner boost, and Jack can flail all he wants, but Ashllxyy knows if he just waits and bides his time, he'll eventually be playing against a seriously handicapped defender. And he dribbles it up and over. 3-2, stop the bleeding after the start of the game. Ashllxyy might have just did a perfect dribble, something that he'd been having a hard time doing this whole time, but he notices Jack going to steal his back corner boost, and a great power slide catch to bring the ball right on net. Punish Jack for being overly aggressive. 3-3. Ashllxyy on a roll for the first time. And Jack the early pre-jump. A nice pinch. Does it have enough power? It doesn't. That'd be a crazy shot from Ashllxyy. Jack's defense, though, has looked really good. And it has, you know, I think resulted in Ashllxyy doubting himself maybe a little bit, not playing the way he normally does on offense. But he has finally started to pick up some shots. The counterattack off the wall just outpaces Jack. And it's going up 4-3, controlling the game for the first time. Jack in that shadow position, you could see him swinging wide around that far post, prepping to get his car in position to save anywhere on the net, regardless of where Ashllxyy wanted to go. And also so patient on defense, but also offense. And we've seen ApparentlyJack play in tournament settings. He has been one of the most patient offensive players, willing to slow the game down to an absolute crawl if he needs to in order to make sure he scores. Jack with possession of the corner. Ashllxyy turning into a shadow, a far shadow, and ends up connecting with the ball as Jack going for an air dribble bump, but the demo and a fifth for Jack. He'll retake the lead. That was, you know, exactly perfect decision making from ApparentlyJack, which is what we expect from him. When a player is shadowing as far as Ashllxyy was, you don't want to try and flick early or pop a shot to get it over them, because they have prepped well, and that's exactly what they're going to have the easiest time saving. But what they're going to have a hard time doing is saving any kind of bump or late play around the net, because they're going to end up giving up way too much space. Now, credit to Ashllxyy, he did actually stop the first air dribble bump attempt, but it put him in a spot where the recovery got him demoed, and Jack did eventually score. So nice play from Ashllxyy. I mean, I think here is mostly just poor defense from Jack, playing an almost perfect game. You know, so far it felt like when Ashllxyy had a midfield possession, but this time Jack just messing up on the back wall, not positioning well for that tight touch that set Ashllxyy up. A minute 20. Ashllxyy, maybe a perfect touch. I was going to say a big missed touch. Yeah, I guess I was right. It didn't seem like that was what Ashllxyy wanted, but then he got such a nice bounce onto the wall. You know, I thought he had completely messed up and it was going to bounce off the wall straight to midfield, and it was going to be the easiest power shot for Jack of all time. But as soon as the ball actually hit the wall and glued straight up the sidewall, I was like, is that what Ashllxyy was trying to do? Was he just trying to clear it? But Jack kind of proved that if it was what he was trying to do, it shouldn't have been. He was still able to find that easy power shot. Instead, just came off the sidewall. 6-5 and a minute left to go. Jack back in the lead. These two have had a lot of lead changes in this second game between them. Jack playing that slow 50 game on offense. You can see him just trying to hit single jumps and hover behind the ball. See if he could bait Ashllxyy into making a poor challenge. This flick, not very well timed. Unfortunate bounce for Ashllxyy. Ashllxyy had made such a great dunk and almost any other kind of bounce, and that ball was going to be very counterable, where he could get a quick shot on net. But you know, not only did it glue to the wall, but it also fell into the corner to just make it nearly impossible. Jack is loving these single jump 50s though. It hasn't worked the past couple times he's gone for it, but he loves just hovering behind the ball, and even though it's slightly in the air, just jumping up to get the low 50. Ashllxyy doing his best to keep this ball up. Jack is going to tap it down to the ground. 6-5. So both the games between Ashllxyy and ApparentlyJack will go to Jack, but Ashllxyy certainly turned it around at least a little bit in this second game.